Welcome to this week's edition of TLBTV. I'm Alex Flum.
And I'm Danielle Stein. Basketball isn't in season, but the team is still making some headlines.
That's right, Danielle. 2 weeks ago, head coach Mark Turgeon announced Jalen Brantley would be transferring from the program. On Sunday, CBS Sports reported that Brantley is going home. The Massachusetts native will play his last season of eligibility in his home state for UMass, and he'll be a graduate transfer for the Minutemen. He'll be pursuing a degree in sports management.
Out with the old and in with the new, graduate transfer forward Sean Obi will join the Terps. He officially signed on Thursday after leaving Duke. Obi played 10 games in 2 years with the Blue Devils and was teammates with former Terp Rashid Suleiman. Before that, he spent his freshman year at Rice. The move comes just weeks after the departure of Melo Trimble and Jalen Brantley.
Well, the roster isn't the only thing that's changing. Mark Turgeon has made a new addition to his coaching staff as well. Kevin Brodus joins the team as an assistant. Brodus has lots of local ties, most recently coaching for 9 years as an assistant at Georgetown. In the middle of that stint, he spent some time with Binghamton for a few years, and he also coached at American, GW, and UDC. Assistant coach Cliff Warren will now be the team's director of player development. Some other news coming in Tuesday night. According to DraftExpress.com, rising sophomore forward Justin Jackson has declared for the NBA draft. He'll not hire an agent, though, and because of that, can return to Maryland next year. Jackson is expected to attend individual workouts with teams and the NBA Draft Combine next month. He has until May 24th to decide whether he will return to College Park for another season.
The Maryland football team has been holding spring practices for several weeks now, but on Saturday, the Terps played in their annual spring football game. The offense beat the defense 40-35, and there were plenty of highlights. It was the first game action for Lorenzo Harrison and DJ Turner since returning from their suspensions. Harrison ran for 79 yards on 5 carries and took it to the house on a 56-yard score.
Lolo's great player, great kid. He's a great young man. He comes from a great family, and so he's certainly a guy that we've always counted on as a player and a leader in the program.
Tough, a couple of months for me and Lolo, but we're definitely sorry for what we've done. I'm very apologetic. I would never make that same mistake again, and now I'm back, fully focused on football, and I'm ready to go.
We now welcome Maryland football offensive lineman Sean Christie into the studio. Sean, good to have you.
Good to be here.
So how's spring practice been? How's it been getting back to everything?
Spring practice has been awesome. We got 15 opportunities to go get better. We go out there and compete every day and try to get the best out of everyone.
And this past weekend, we saw you guys out there for the spring game. How was it getting back out on the field, playing in a real game?
It was awesome. We got to play out in front of our fans, play an actual kind of game scenario, offense versus defense. Offense took the lead, though, so it's good for us.
So the offense picked up the win, and then there were some pretty cool plays during the game. DJ Moore making a huge catch right here in the corner of the end zone. And then on the defensive side of the ball, highlight play here, Antoine Brooks laying out for this great interception. If you had to pick one, which one was more impressive, Sean?
Antoine was pretty good. I'm going to have to give it to DJ, though. I think DJ is going to be he has been a great tool for us, and he's going to only get better. So, also, got to keep it on the opposite side of the ball.
DJ Durkin, it's his second year coaching the team. What can we expect from him this year? Are we going to see any changes in his coaching style, things like that?
I don't think you're going to get any changes out of him. What you see is what you get. He's a very honest guy. Brings it every day. He really harps on attitude, effort, enthusiasm, and that's what he tries to get out of the players, and that's what we want to give them.
And looking back at last season, one of the best parts of the offensive side of the ball for you guys was the running game. How great is it? How much does it help you guys as an offensive line unit to have such a deep backfield?
Oh, it makes a world of difference. Last year we were very good at moving the ball, and if you can move the ball, it makes it easier to throw the ball, and especially when you have good running backs. So yeah, it makes it much easier for us.
All right, well, Sean, thank you so much for coming on, and well, good luck through the off season, and we'll see you in the fall for some football.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, when you're undefeated more than 2 months into the season, there's a pretty good chance you're going to win your conference. That's exactly what Maryland women's lacrosse did Thursday in their closest win of the year. Terps beat number 5 Penn State 16-14, winning the Big Ten regular season title for the 3rd year in a row. Some other Terps news: Callie Hartshorn named Big Ten Freshman of the Week and Inside Lacrosse National Rookie of the Week, and Zoe Stukenberg taking home Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week.
The men's lax team doesn't have it quite as easy. They lost their first conference matchup of the season, falling to Ohio State in overtime 11-10 on Saturday, ending a 5-game winning streak. The men's team is now tied atop the Big Ten standings with Ohio State and next week's opponent, Johns Hopkins.
Indiana swept Maryland softball this weekend in Bloomington in a tight series. The Terps dropped both games of Friday's doubleheader, 2-1 on a walk-off and 5-0 in the nightcap. Sunday's series finale was a close pitching duel between Madison Martin and Tara Traynor, but the Terps fell 2-1 in extra innings.
True leaders emerge on and off the field. For the Terps softball team, that leader is catcher Christina Dillard. Josh Coggin shares the story on the motivational speech she delivered at last week's semi-annual Terp Talk event.
Maryland senior softball player Christina Dillard gave a Terp Talk on the power of patterns. Terp Talks, modeled after TED Talks, give students at Maryland the opportunity to practice public speaking by giving speeches on a topic they care about. Dillard spoke about the power of pattern.
Christina, where did you get the inspiration for your Terp Talk?
Well, it did take a while for me to think of an idea, but somebody just gave me the advice to just start typing. And this is the first thing that came to my mind, something that's still been going on with me today, so I thought I would use this opportunity to share it.
We all have the ability to perform micro behaviors that can be part of a ripple effect.
She's an extension of me, and she does a really nice job of keeping things light and making people understand not to take life so seriously and enjoy every moment.
With 8 games left before the Big Ten tournament, the Terps will lean on the veteran leadership of Dillard as they close out the season.
Well, Big Ten leading Maryland baseball broke out the brooms against Michigan State this past weekend with their 5th sweep of the season. Brian Schaefer tossed 7 Ks and the offense exploded for a 12-2 win on Friday. In a doubleheader on Sunday, Maryland won 2-1 in the first game and 6-2 in the second.
You know, we have a veteran group, and they make it difficult for people to come in here and play. Like, people don't want to come in here and play. Like, there's some places that we go to that I don't want to go play at. And I think that this is becoming one of those kind of places for opposing teams.
So Maryland rolling on a 7-game win streak, and to talk about that success, we have TLBTV reporter Noah Gross. Noah, Maryland back in the top 25, and a big part of it's been the pitching, right?
Yeah, the pitching's been instrumental for this team, and the person who's gotten the most credit for that, and deservedly so, has been Brian Schaefer. He's been not only one of the best pitchers in the conference, but the whole country. But it's really not just been him. How about Tyler Blome, the freshman? When he's controlled his pitches, he's been pretty much unhittable this year. And the bullpen, too, talk about Andrew Miller, Ryan Selmer, Ryan Hill. The 3 leaders in appearances on this team all have very sparkling ERA, so it's really a group effort.
And you just brought up streaks, and how about Zach Jankarski? He's on a 14-game hitting streak right now.
Yeah, Jankarski's been on fire. The thing about college baseball you have to remember is they only play about 4 games a week on average, so Jankarski's had to stay hot for a while. Last game he went without getting a hit April 2nd, so really impressive there. And Jankarski, too, when he gets on base, always a threat to steal, the team leader in stolen bases.
So Maryland right now sitting atop the Big Ten standings. Who out there is their biggest threat?
Well, Maryland is first in the Big Ten, as you mentioned, but they don't have the best overall record in the conference. That belongs to Michigan, who Maryland did take 2 out of 3 against in College Park, but that was a very tough series. So that Michigan's obviously a threat to Maryland, and so is Nebraska, who Maryland lost the series to up in Lincoln. And the Big Ten may not have the top-level teams some of the other conferences do, but it's a really deep conference in Maryland. It's not going to be a cakewalk for them. There's a lot of tough teams in the conference.
Well, thank you, Noah, for coming on. Next up for Maryland baseball, a 3-game series in Indiana this weekend. Wrapping up its most successful regular season with the program best 16 wins, Maryland tennis finished by defeating 2 Big Ten opponents. On Friday, the Terps beat Minnesota 5-2 after a comeback from doubles pair Ekaterina Tor and Caroline Williams. 2 days later, the Terps swept Wisconsin on Senior Day. Evan Regrodsky was there and has the highlights.
Fun day here in College Park as the seniors celebrated playing their last home match of their career, and they went out in style. We started with doubles play, and Ekaterina Tor and Caroline Williams sailed to a 6-0 victory. Seniors Olivia Gaudot and Cassie Thibault got the doubles start, but took a tough loss to even things up. It was all up to the #1 doubles team of seniors Christina Hovsepian and Alexandra Sanova, who came through for a 7-5 victory to give the doubles point to the Terps. The Terps just needed 3 singles wins to clinch the victory. Ekaterina Tor started that train by winning her match 6-3, 6-0. Then senior Alexandra Sanova got them 1 step closer in her final home match, winning 6-4, 6-2. And in a fitting end on senior day, the clinching win came from senior Christina Hovsepian by a score of 6-3, 6-2, and Maryland picks up the win in their final regular season game.
It's tournament time for the Terps, and they'll head to Champaign, Illinois Thursday as the #5 seed in the Big Ten Championship.
Well, a bit of rain wasn't going to stop the Maryland track and field team this past weekend. There was no shortage of new records at their event, starting off with Emma O'Hara setting a new school record in women's hammer, throwing 58.32 meters. Big wins for both Claudia Bobbio and Greg Thompson in discus with 51.85 meter and 54.35 meter throws respectively. 4x4 relay team of Lisa Minot, Catherine Volpal, and Thyla Cooper and Misha Powell concluded the meet with a 3:40.46 win.
A big career move for Terps basketball legend Juan Dixon. He has taken a head coaching job for the Coppin State men's basketball team. The 2002 national champion was a special assistant to head coach Mark Turgeon for 3 seasons before coaching the UDC women's team last year.
Well, Danielle, from one Juan to another, we're glad to have Juan Herrera, our favorite Juan, in our studio today.
And I hear for today's Juan Final Thought, one former Terp is making his Netflix debut.
That's right, guys. For those who might not be aware, Bill Nye the Science Guy has a new series featured on Netflix called Bill Nye Saves the World. The reason I bring this up is because former Maryland center and current Los Angeles Clipper Diamond Stone made an appearance in one of the series' episodes. In his Netflix debut, Stone helped Nye with a demonstration on the differences between gravity on Earth and the Moon. During the demonstration, Stone played a little one-on-one against a 4th grader named Roman. Through the help of wires, Roman was able to take flight and dunk on Stone. It's great to see former Terps on television, but let's hope Clippers coach Doc Rivers didn't see Stone get posterized by the 4th grader.
The Science Guy, that's a name I haven't heard in a while, but I think I might have to get a Netflix subscription just to watch this.
We got a lot of good stuff coming on Netflix end of May, House of Cards Season 5, and you got Bill Nye and Diamond Stone on there now too.
Right,
Sounds pretty tempting to me. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching this episode of TLBTV. That's all we have for you this week. I'm Danielle Stein.
And I'm Alex Flum. Be sure to check out all of our spring sports coverage on Twitter @TheLeftBench and on our Facebook page.